Hey everybody, welcome back to the Print3D channel. Today is August 24th, and that means day 236 of the 3DP 365 project. And on today's episode, we printed out a couple of Om Noms, so stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you for joining me here for day 236 of the 3DP 365 project. As always, down in the description there's a fact section. There's also the MatterHackers affiliate link. If you're in the market for some new filament, just use that MatterHackers affiliate link and you really help out the channel. On today's episode, we printed out a couple of these cute little Om Noms, and our prints turned out really good. Well, except for this little guy. At the very end of the print, the extruder just basically stopped extruding. But I didn't want to stop the print because I was hoping that it would still work. But it didn't. It just failed a little bit. I was at the end of the filament roll. As you can see here, I'm pretty close to the end of the filament roll. And sometimes that happens when you get a little bit low on filament. Sometimes the diameter gets a little inconsistent, or it gets a little tangled, or whatever the problem was. But I was sitting here watching it and it basically stopped extruding. It extruded enough to put down just a little bit of like a little lattice pattern on the top there. And I didn't want to stop the print because I wanted to see how it would finish just in case. And I knew I was going to reprint it no matter what. So I reprinted it at 250% in MatterHackers glow-in-the-dark green instead. And our prints, I think they turned out great. I really love these Om Noms. These are designed by SparkyFace5, aka Tessa, and you can find the link to her information down in the description. And we downloaded this model from Thingiverse. And once we had it downloaded, we sent it over to Simplify3D for slicing. In Simplify3D, for the little Om Nom, I printed him at 100%. This is the original size, at a 0.2 millimeter layer height, with 3 top layers, 3 bottom layers, and 3 perimeters, and only about, I think, 5% infill. No, actually I did 10% infill on this guy, just to make sure all my little top areas turned out good. And we ran this out at about 35 millimeters per second, which I thought would be slow enough to take care of his little antennae. And it was printing just fine, and then it got to the very top there and just decided to kind of sputter out a little bit. But I kind of like the way it looks. It's almost like a little bit of a brain on the top of his little tentacle. So I went back to Simplify3D and I scaled him up to 250%. And then I loaded up some of that MatterHackers PRO PLA glow in the dark, and we used 3 top layers, 3 bottom layers, and 3 perimeters, and only 5% infill. And we printed this out at 50 millimeters per second because I figured it'd have no problem printing this whatsoever. And it took about 7.5 hours to print. And with all those settings, it actually turned out perfect. The glow-in-the-dark, larger 250% version is perfect. This is a flawless print. There are no blobs, there are no globs, there are no layer skips, there is no layer shifts. And of course, the little antenna printed out perfectly because it's much larger and it doesn't have to deal with those smaller retraction areas. And my first thought with the little guy is that I would run multiple processes and turn off retraction as soon as we got to the antenna. So I may still print that again as a test and part of my Simplify3D series of videos that I'm going to put out at a later date. But for now, I'm actually happy with the little purple guy, and I really, really love the glow-in-the-dark version at 250%. I can't wait to see if anybody prints this guy even bigger, because I did try and scale him up to fit maximum print area on my gMax, but it was just too long of a print. But I know there's somebody out there that likes to print things really, really big on his gMax, and maybe we can convince him to make a gMax-sized Om Nom. Well, that about wraps it up for day 236 of the 3DP 365 project. I hope you guys found this episode interesting and informative. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share those videos, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. But wait, you guys probably want to see this thing glow in the dark. So let's charge him up real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just charged it up in the sunlight for about 5 minutes, and you can really see Mr. Om Nom glowing away here. This is such cool filament. I really want to try out some of the MatterHackers glow-in-the-dark blue, because I think that would look really awesome, but I haven't had it in stock for quite some time. But this guy looks really, really cool. This is the Om Nom from SparkyFace5 in glow-in-the-dark MatterHackers PRO Series filament. Check it out.